Before you listen to anything else, understand this. If your English sounds weak, it's not because of your grammar, and it's not because of your accent either. But if you keep believing it is, you'll keep improving, and still feel invisible when you speak. Most English learners never discover the real reason. That's why they study for years, speak correctly, and quietly lose confidence. In this episode, you're going to hear the exact moment where learners unknowingly give away their power when they speak English. And once you notice it, you won't be able to unhear it in your own voice. Stay till the end. Because this doesn't change what you say. It changes how you exist when you speak. This is Learn English with Ease.
English made powerful, simple, and yours.
Emma, I want to start with something personal. For a long time, I thought something was wrong with my English. Not obviously wrong, just off. I'd speak, people would understand me, but the reaction was always softer than I expected. Less attention, less energy. And afterward, I'd replay the conversation in my head thinking, why didn't that land?
Because deep down, you weren't really speaking. You were presenting language.
That sentence alone would have offended me a few years ago.
I know, because most serious learners believe they are speaking. But what they're actually doing is performing correctness. And correctness has no weight.
Let's describe the moment everyone listening knows. You're in a conversation, maybe work, maybe a social situation. You already know what you want to say. In your own language, it's strong, clear, even a little emotional. But in English, you pause. You simplify. You choose a safer version of the thought. And the second you finish speaking, you feel it. Something was missing.
That feeling is the sound of your personality being filtered.
And no one teaches you that this filtering is happening. Schools reward it. Apps encourage it. You're told, speak clearly, speak correctly. So you learn to speak English without friction, but also without force.
And here's the painful part. The more intelligent you are, the worse this gets.
Yes, because smart learners over-control themselves. They monitor every sentence while speaking. They don't allow momentum. And momentum is what confidence sounds like.
Let me say something that might surprise people. Weak English doesn't sound weak because of mistakes. It sounds weak because of hesitation before meaning.
Explain that.
When native speakers talk, meaning comes first. Language follows. Even if the sentence is messy, the intention is already moving forward. But learners often do the opposite. They build the sentence first, and then hope meaning appears.
And listeners feel that delay, even if they don't know why.
Exactly. Humans don't respond to grammar. They respond to certainty, to emotional direction, to presence.
This explains something that always confused me. I've met people with heavy accents, broken grammar, even wrong words. But when they spoke, people listened. They leaned in. They responded differently.
Because those speakers weren't asking for permission to be heard.
That's a hard sentence to hear.
It should be. Because many learners speak English like they're apologizing for existing in it. Their voice goes slightly up at the end. Their pace slows. Their energy pulls back. And subconsciously, the listener mirrors that distance.
So when people say, your English is good, but still don't react strongly to you, it's not a lie. It's just incomplete.
Yes, good English is not the same as felt English.
Let's talk about why this gets worse over time instead of better. Because many listeners will relate to this. They felt more confident speaking English years ago than they do now.
That's because early on, you don't know enough to self-censor. You speak freely. But as you learn more rules, more structures, more correct ways, you start tightening yourself. Your English improves on paper and weakens in presence.
So learners think the solution is more polishing.
And that's the trap. Polish removes texture, and texture is what makes speech human.
Here's a moment I remember clearly. I was in a meeting. I had a strong opinion. I knew it mattered. But instead of saying it directly, I softened it. I added, maybe. I added, I think. I smiled while speaking. And when I finished, someone else said almost the same idea, more directly, and the room responded to them.
That moment stays with you.
It does, because it teaches you a dangerous lesson. My ideas sound better in someone else's mouth.
And once you believe that, your English will always sound smaller than you are.
So let's get to the heart of this. If grammar isn't the core problem, what is?
The real problem is self-positioning. When you speak English, where do you place yourself in the conversation?
Meaning?
Are you speaking from the idea or around it? Are you delivering meaning or negotiating your right to speak?
That's uncomfortable because it has nothing to do with English itself.
Exactly. This is why most courses can't fix it, because it's not a language issue, it's a relationship issue. Your relationship with being heard.
So how does someone listening actually change this? Not in theory, in real life.
It starts with one shift. Stop asking, is this sentence correct? And start asking, what am I actually trying to do with this sentence?
That sounds small, but it changes everything.
Because when intention leads, your voice changes automatically. Your pauses change. Your rhythm changes. You stop filling silence with safety words.
And you stop shrinking your thoughts to fit your English.
Yes, you let English stretch to fit you.
I want listeners to really hear this part. Confidence is not added to English later. It's baked in at the moment you decide your thought deserves space.
And when that decision happens, even simple English sounds strong.
That's the irony. The strongest English is often the simplest, when it's spoken without apology.
So if someone finishes this episode and remembers only one thing, it should be this. Your English doesn't sound weak because it's wrong. It sounds weak when you don't fully stand inside what you're saying.
And the moment you do, people hear you differently.
Not because your English changed, but because you did.
If this conversation described you a little too accurately, stay with us. You're not behind. You're not broken. You just learned English in a way that forgot about you.
And once you bring yourself back into it, English stops feeling small.